Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, a show that focuses on local sports and faith, includes thought-provoking interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures, unashamed Bible discussion, and the popular and entertaining WOYK scoreboard. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
And good morning.
Oh, doggy, Becky B. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us, because we've got a dandy with us this morning. The head coach of the Kennerdale Rams softball team, Nicole McCleary Patterson. How about those Fawn Grove girls? District 3 4A champions, and they're about ready to start their state playoff run tomorrow afternoon. Congratulations to the Kennerdale Rams. We have their head coach, Nicole McCleary Patterson, with us. And you know what? Continuing our string of state champions. How about this? We're going to go to Dallastown for their senior star athlete, Jalen Cook. Jalen set a state record and achieved the gold medal in the high jump. He cleared 7 feet 3 inches. Yikes.
That's taller than he is. How does he do that?
He's jumping over like 1.5 of you, Becky B. Incredible. Wow. Jalen Cook, he's a star athlete. Stars in 3 sports: basketball, football, and now a state record in track and field in a high jump competition. And you know what? He's a great student as well. Can't wait to talk to Jalen Cook. Hey, you know what, friends? As Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans, for I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. Today, our Go Long topic is God is the answer for loneliness. I guess I was watching or maybe listening to some talk radio this week and heard some talk about people being loneliness. You know, there's polls in the United States that show anywhere from 20 to 51% of adults say they're lonely. And young people between the ages, young adults, I should say, between the ages of 18 and 25, 61% are saying they're lonely. Isn't that interesting? Despite all the social media, despite all the cell phones, despite, all this connection, right? So it led me to think, well, what's the solution to that? It's not being on your cell phone all day long, right?
Absolutely
it's not FaceTime, no. So today our topic is God is the answer for loneliness. Throughout the weekend during today's show, please text your prayer request to 717-350-8591. And Becky B will close today's show in prayer, as she does every Sunday morning. Again, please text your prayer request to 717-350-8591. You know it's red hot, Ed Hot. Downtown Ollie Brown. Grab the mustard, because this is the Grand Salami of faith-based sports radio shows, brought to you by Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. First in York and First in Sports, and also brought to you by our friend Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. My goodness, if you're trying to sell your house and you want to sell it quickly and almost always more than the asking price, contact Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors. You just got to go to her website, Red Barn Home Decors, and find out all the information about the service she will provide. All right, then, you wanted it? You asked for it? Guess what? You're going to get it. This is the WOYK scoreboard. Hey, how about let's kick this off with high school softball. The Kennerdale Rams taking on the Northern Lebanon Vikings for the District 3 Class 4A Marbles. This game played at Millersville University on Tuesday afternoon.
And booked the District 3 championship for the Kennerdale Rams as the Fawn Grove girls out-muscle Northern Lebanon 4-1. In the circle for Kennerdale was sophomore sensation right-hander Taryn Aschenfelder. Aschenfelder twirled a complete game gem, giving up just 1 run, scattering 6 hits, no free passes, and whipping 15.
Wow, that's more than 2 an inning, by the way. And just in case that wasn't enough, Aschenfelder also with a pair of base knocks, helping her cause with a sweet ribby and a run scored. Still for the district champion Kennerdale Rams, Liliana Fleming having a day at the dish, going 3 for 4, ripping an RBI two-bagger in the top of the first. Maddie Aguirre with a pair of base hits, and Taylor Renato stepping up to the plate and ripping a run-scoring go-ahead three-bagger in the top of the sixth.
And just in case you are keeping score at home, this is the third district softball championship for the Kennerdale Rams. What's next, you ask? Well, Kennerdale will take on Monsignor Boner, Archbishop Pendergast Catholic High School. Wow, say that fast.
Yeah.
On Monday at Fawn Grove. The first pitch is slated for 4:30.
Yeah, I think often they just say Boner and Prendy High School in the third seed out of the District 12, and they're located in Upper Darby Township. They have a overall, this is interesting, 9-4 record. So the Kennerdale Rams, the Fawn Grove, the Fawn Grove girls now they're 22-2 for the season. They tucked a nice season in their backpacks. We'll talk with Kennerdale head coach Nicole McCleary Patterson and just a bit about the Rams and this matchup. Again, that's going to be Monday, 4:30, first pitch at Kennerdale High School with Boner Prendy High School. How about that? I'm picking the Rams, Becky B.
I'm picking the Rams, too.
All right,
still talking girls softball in the District 3 Class 3A third place game played Tuesday at Camp Hill. The Trinity Shamrocks knocked out the Littlestown Thunderbolts by a score of 3-1. Landry Murray tossing the complete game for Trinity.
For the Smallsville girls, in the top of the sixth, Libby Brown with a ding-dong, though, which is dead solo dinger, which was the only run the Bolts could muster. Still for the Bolts, Alexis Stonecipher in the circle, tossing a complete game, allowing just 3 hits on 6 hits. And 3 runs, I should say, on 6 hits.
Okay, and so congratulations to the Littlestown Thunderbolts for a very successful season, finishing 4th place in the district with an 18-5 season record.
All right, Becky B, why don't you wrap up District 3 softball champions for us, please?
I sure will. Okay, District 3 champions in softball. For 1A, it was Greenwood. If you remember, York Catholic came in 2nd place, but there were only 3 teams in the district in 1A, so York Catholic will not advance to the state tournament. In 2A, it was Halifax as the champion. DeLone was the number 2 seed there, but they were beaten by Halifax on the way to the championship. Susquehanna was the 3A girls championship. Littlestown was ranked number 4. They lost in the second round to Susquehanna, but they ended up in 4th place. Unfortunately, only 3 get in. Okay. Biglerville was the number 6 seed. They lost in the first round. Kennerdale, 4A championship, and moving on. Red Lion was the 5A champ. Susquehannock was number 11, and New Oxford was number 12, but both of those teams lost in the first round. And for the 6A, Cumberland Valley ended up with that championship. Central York was number 4, and Red Lion was number 12. They both lost in the first round. Dallastown was the number 9 seed, Southwestern the number 3 seed, and they lost in the second round.
All right,
but overall, great season for York Adams in softball.
Yep, great wrap-up.
Okay, moving on to district boys volleyball action. Yesterday in Mechanicsburg, the Central York Panthers came up short in the District 3 Class 3A championship match versus the top-seeded and still unbeaten Cumberland Valley Eagles.
All right, Central took Game 1 of the best-of-5 match by a score of 25-23 before falling in the next 3 games, 25-18, 25-22, and 25-16. This was the second district championship in the past 3 years for Cumberland Valley.
For Central, senior John He led with 17 kills and 8 digs. Senior Patrick Seward booked a baker's dozen kills and 5 digs. Senior setter Lance Schaefer handed out 38 assists and 12 digs. Junior Ian DeVos with 8 kills and 5 digs. And sophomore Shivish Jethra booked 17 digs.
All right, now let's just pause for a second and let all this sink in. Central York, 24 district championships in boys volleyball. Isn't that incredible?
That is amazing.
And these seniors that we talked about, Patrick Seward, John He, Lance Schaefer, I mean, these guys are great. And probably it'll be, my guess would be all end up in some first, second team, all-state type stuff. But, and most teams, they would say, you know what, that might be our year. But Central York just keeps on finding a way to rebuild that historic
volleyball
program.
Sauce.
They do, yes, absolutely. So Central York, 24 time district championship. You say, what's up next for them? Well, on Tuesday, they're going to have the first round match in the state playoffs against District 7, second place finisher, Seneca Valley. You know, this is the dandy. Seneca Valley is ranked third by the PA Volleyball Coaches Association statewide in the big boy pants bracket, and Central York currently ranked fifth by the Pennsylvania Volleyball Coaches Association. So that's going to be a dandy first round matchup in states.
I will say so,
Yeah.
man. Okay, on Friday in high school boys volleyball in the District 3 tournament Class 3A third place game, Northeastern facing Governor Mifflin. The Mustangs went ahead early in the first set and won the first game 25-19, but the Bobcats came back in the second set, won that game 25-19. The Mustangs, though, won the third set 25-19 and then won the third set to go 3-1 and beat Northeastern. Okay, and in District 3 Class 2A boys volleyball on Thursday night, the York Suburban Trojans dropped their championship match as the number 1 seeded Manheim Central Barons swept the Suburbanites in the best of 5 match, 25-22, 25-17, and 25-19. For Suburban, outside hitter Trent Weinstein with 9 kills, Josh Slade with 5 kills, and Zach Perryman with 5 kills. Up next for York Suburban in the PIAA State Championship Tournament will be the District 12 champions Lansdale Catholic. That will be held on Tuesday.
Alrighty, hey, great season for those York Adams volleyball teams, right?
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to boys lacrosse. In the District 3 Class 3A championship game, the Manheim Township Blue Streaks out of the Lancaster Lebanon League knocked off the Central York Panthers 9-6 Tuesday evening at Central York.
Central fell behind 5-0 and trailed 7-2 at the halftime intermission, and they just couldn't quite get back into this one. For the 19-3 number 1 seeded Panthers, Cameron Deal found the back of the net 4 times.
All right, Central York will now host District 1 third place Ridley High School on Tuesday in round 1 of state play. Face off at Central, 5 p.m. Good luck to the Panthers as they enter state playoff action.
In high school girls lacrosse district playoff action, the New Oxford Colonials fell in the District 3 Class 3A third place game to Hempfield by a score of 18-8.
But the season's not over for the Circletown girls as New Oxford will travel west, probably down the turnpike, to take on District 7 champions Mount Lebanon this Tuesday.
Alrighty, and next, the Christian School of York. Congratulations to the defenders. It was their first time to win the District 3 championship in any sport. On May 22nd, they beat Mount Calvary Christian 9-5 at Penn Medicine Park in Lancaster. In this game, they scored the first 9 runs.
Wow.
2 runs in the second inning, 4 runs in the third inning, and 3 runs in the fifth inning. And they took advantage of 5 Mount Calvary errors, while they also hit 8 singles and had 10 walks. They held Mount Calvary scoreless until the 6th inning when Mount Calvary scored 2 and then added 3 more in the 7th. But
Wow.
congratulations to Christian School of York, District 3 champs.
All right, on Memorial Day, when our grills were starting to heat up, I was making some barbecue chicken, by the way. The Bermudian Springs Eagles took the field at Penn Medicine Park in Lancaster, playing for the district championship against the Berks Catholic Saints.
Berks Catholic pitcher Mikey Fiddler tossed a one-hitter at Bermudian as Berks Catholic wins 8-0. With the loss, Bermudian falls to 19-3 for the season. Aiden Knight with a 6th inning leadoff base hit for Bermudian. That's the only hit in the game.
Alrighty. Hey, Becky B, can you give us a look at the baseball district champions, please? And then I want to give you a little bit of information about state playoffs coming up.
Certainly. Okay, as we said before, the 1A champions are the Christian School of York. They were the number 2 seed and ended up winning the district championship. The 2A winner for District 3 was Camp Hill. DeLone was the number 4 seed. The 3A, Berks Catholic, the number 3 seed, came and won. Bermudian was the number 1 seed. They lost in the championships to Berks Catholic. And Littlestown was the number 5 seed, and they lost to Berks Catholic in the first round. 4A was East Pennsboro with a 22-0 record.
Wow.
Kennerdale was the number 3 seed, and they lost in the first round. My Fleetwood Tigers, though, ended up 3rd overall in that 4A bracket.
That, yeah.
Okay. 5A, the Lampeter Stroudsburg won the championship. New Oxford was the number 8 seed and West York the number 13 seed, and both of those teams lost in the first round. And 6A, the Big Boy Pants, was won by Governor Mifflin. Northeastern was the number 8 seed. They lost to Governor Mifflin in the second round. Central York was the number 13 seed and Dallastown the number 10th seed. They lost in the first round. And Red Lion, the number 11 seed, lost in the second round.
All right, well, teams of interest going into the state playoffs. Monday, as Becky B. already said, first round of 1A. It'll be the Christian School York with a 12-4 record, the number 1 seed out of District 3, taking on the number 1 seed out of District 2, Freeland MM1. Freeland has a 10-11 record. Wouldn't that be interesting for Christian School York to pick up another win or two? And then in 3A Monday, Bermudian Springs is going to travel to Philadelphia at FDR Park at Richie Ashburn Field to take on the first seed out of District 12, Newman Goretti. Goretti with a 10-1 record. Bermudian Springs 19-2. Becky B, do you have a pick?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think Bermudian's going to come away with that one, but I haven't heard about Richie Ashburn for a long time.
Yeah.
Remember his sideburns?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Richie Ashburn Field, FDR Park in Philadelphia. That game will take place. What a great place for Bermudian to go play, right?
Yes.
And then in 5A, Redland the Patriots are going to host North Hills out of District 7. They're the 4th seed with a 17-6 record. Redland with a 19-3 record. They're going to host that game tomorrow. First pitch 4:30. Alrighty, Susquehanna League in the game of the week. It was the Hellam Express over the Felton Mad Dogs by a score of 3-1. This game played on Tuesday at Felton. Owen Schimmel, complete game, giving up just 1 run on 8 hits. He walked 2, but he whiffed 10 as the Hellam Express improved to 4-0. Zach Zambito, 2 for 2 with a ribby. Reagan Coons, 2 for 3 also for the plates. The Mad Dogs are now 1-2 for the season. Other games in the Susquehanna League, it was Windsor 2, Storchtown 1, Cole Doherty, a 1-out single in the 7th to have a walk-off win for the Windsor Cardinals. Doherty finished 2 for 4 at the plate. Connor Bartow was 2 for 3, and Cody Britton was 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the bottom of the 6th. That game was knotted up at one point when Britton had that double. It was East Prospect 3, the Coonrads 1. East Prospect 3, the Conrads 1. Pitchers Brock Hammaker and John Solansky combined to allow just 1 earned run for East Prospect. York Township over Jacobus, the Jackals, by a score of 12-2 in just 5 innings. Ethan Sachs pitched 5 innings for a complete game for Township. Austin Mumal was 1 for 3 with a solo shot. He also had 3 RBIs, did Mumal. Doubleheaders on Memorial Day from the Central League in the Central League Game of the Week. How about those Manchester Indians as they improved their record to 3-0 as they win at home over the Tool-Time Boys of Mechanicsburg, the Cardinals, by a score of 5-2. Connor Reeser, a 6-inning, 2 runs, just 3 hits, 5 walks, struck out 10 as the Manchester Indians win the Go Long Central League Game of the Week. Pete Capobianco, 3-run dinger in the bottom of the 3rd, 4 ribbies to lead Manchester. It was Pleasureville 3, Jefferson 1. Cade Baker, 6 innings, allowed just 1 run for Pleasureville in that complete game win. Mount Wolf 7, the Vikings 1, Hunter Merritt, 6 innings, 1 earned run on just 3 hits, no walks. How about that? 8 strikeouts to lead the Mount Wolf Wolves to their first win of the season. Stoverstown over Glenrock, 6-0. Abe Dahl pitched 5 shutout innings for that win. Then in Game 2 on Memorial Day, these are Central League games. Glenrock over Jefferson. The Rock wins 4-3. Joey Smith pitched 5 1/3 innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. He struck out 9 for Glenrock. How about A.J. Miller, just coming off his season from Penn State York? He was 1 for 3 with a 2-run double. A.J. Miller with 2 RBIs to lead Glenrock in that win. It was Stoverstown blanking Pleasureville 11-0 in just 5 innings. Justin Charles, 5 innings, just 1 hit, no walks, 7 strikeouts for the Tigers as they run their record to 4-0 to Stoverstown early in the season. Mount Wolf over Manchester. It was Aunt Nellie grab him by the ear, drag him out behind the woodshed, give him a good old-fashioned whooping game of the week as Mount Wolf wins over Manchester 13-0 in 5 innings. Grant Hoover was 3 for 4, 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored, and teammate Andrew Shrabowski was 2 for 4 with 2 ribbies as well. And then finally, the Tool-Time boys of Mechanicsburg. The Mechanicsburg Cardinals over the Vikings 16-2 in Shiloh. Caden Lloyd was 2 for 4 with a 2-run moonshot in the bottom of the 4th, and he also had 3 ribbies, did Caden Lloyd. All right, that's local baseball, Becky. Isn't it fun to start talking local baseball again?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I just love that. All right, here. Hey, how about Messiah University? They changed from college to university, so I still say college now and then. But they are in the College World Series. And they won, first of all, they won Friday over Johns Hopkins University by a score of 16-7. You talk about putting up some runs. And then Saturday, they beat Endicott College 9-5. So Monday, tomorrow, at 10 a.m., they're going to match up with the winner of either Keene University or Endicott College. Now, let me tell you about this. First of all, I got to tell you this.
Okay, tell me.
One of their star relief pitchers is Drew Dellinger, who played his high school career at Eastern New York. In high school, his senior year, 1.85 ERA, so we knew he was a great pitcher, right?
Absolutely.
Drew Dellinger. Well, in that Friday game against Johns Hopkins, Drew Dellinger pitched 2 full innings, faced 8 batters, struck out 2, gave up just 2 hits, but no runs. He pitched inning 6 and inning 7. For Messiah University in that win, so a very, very important part. I mean, he's a great reliever.
He did his job,
didn't he? He did his job. My guess is he's going to see some action tomorrow in that game. But here's where they're at, just to give you a sense. So there's 2 Final Four brackets in NCAA baseball. So, and you play each of those teams, and you got to lose 2 to be eliminated, okay? Mm-hmm. So already Messiah yesterday eliminated Endicott. They're out of it.
Yeah.
Keene and they eliminated Johns Hopkins. Keene and Endicott each have 1 loss. So one of those teams are playing today. So one of those are going to be eliminated. Mm-hmm. Messiah doesn't have any losses in this bracket yet. So
they're 2-0. Yeah.
So they're going to have to lose twice to one of these teams on Monday in order not to make the championship round.
Wow.
In order not to play for the championship round. Yes. So there's 7 left at the end of the day. There's going to be 2 teams left. How about that? I mean,
pretty impressive, I'd say.
Pretty impressive. So good luck to Messiah University and Eastern New York's Drew Dellinger as they're in the national championship. All right, Becky, but you have a few others you want to chat about, please.
I absolutely do. Okay, this Gettysburg alum and now at Elizabethtown College, Kelly Oster. She competed and won the NCAA Division III championship in the women's 800 meters last week at the meet in Geneva, Ohio. She won the title by 2/100ths of a second, setting a personal, school, and conference record of 2 minutes, 5 seconds, and 900ths of a second. And earlier this year, she won the 800-meter indoor title as well. So congratulations to Kelly Oster from Gettysburg. Also, we had 2 athletes who are also lacrosse players, and they were in the championships of the NCAA Division II this past week. Aaron Little, who came from New Oxford and is a senior at Slippery Rock, scored a goal when Slippery Rock won 15-13. Slippery Rock lost 13-15 to Adelphia in Salem, Virginia in the national championships.
Right. So, Becky B., we got lots more to tell you about these local college athletes. Well done to all of them. We have more to tell you about, and we'll get to them here in the show. But first, I got to tell you this. The York Revolution down the Long Island Ducks 6-1 last night at Wellspan Park as Frankie Tostado broke a scoreless deadlock with a grand salami. You got to love it. And Tyler Palm pitched another gem. The game was a scheduled 7-inning contest following the completion of Friday evening's suspended game with Long Island, which York took a 13-4 loss in that game.
Tyler Palm is now 3-0 for the year. He fired 5 shutout innings and allowed just 3 hits while striking out 5 without giving up a walk. To to earn his third consecutive victory. He now has a 1.5 ERA over his last 5 outings and has struck out 21
Wow.
and just walked 2 in his last 4 starts.
Hey guys, letting you hear this way, the Revs are now 20-10 and still lead Long Island by 4 games for first place in the North Division. York has now won 5 of his last 6, 9 of his last 12, and the 20-10 mark in 2 games ahead of the 2014-2024 club set for the best 30-game record in franchise history. They're going to go for a weekend series win today, 1 p.m. Right-hander Foster Pace with a 2-1 record, 5.28 is going to match up with Ducks righty Ryan Sandberg, who's 1-0 with a 0.0 ERA. All right, that first pitch today, again, 1 p.m. It's going to be a wonderful day at the park. Beautiful weather. Tickets are on sale at YorkRevolution.com, 717-801-HITS. And in person at the Shipley Energy Ticket Office. Get out. Get out to the ballpark today on a beautiful day. If you can't get there, guess what?
You can listen to Darrell Henry.
Oh, yeah, doggy. I tell you what, you just, it'll make you smile to hear Darrell Henry give a game call. So even if you can't sit there and listen to the whole game, you want to tune in for a few innings, because I guarantee you, if you're a baseball fan, you're going to love it. You'll love hearing Darrell Henry with the call. Alrighty, my friends, you are listening to Go Long here on WOYK, first in York, first in sports. Today our Go Long topic, because it is time to go long, as it is every Sunday morning, about 9:25 or so. Today our Go Long topic is God is the answer to loneliness. And I talked about this earlier as the opening, that in a whole variety of polls and surveys that I looked at, anywhere between 20 and 50% of adults in the United States say they are lonely. And even throughout the entire world, most studies say that 1 in 4 adults feel lonely. And the one that stunned me was ages 18 to 25 adults, 61%. How about that?
That's a high percentage.
Yeah, it is. Say they're lonely. And, and so many of our young people also say they're lonely. And so the question is why? I mean, what's doing that? I mean, has it always been, and just the polls are pointing it out? Because you think as our society has changed to all the social media, to all the access to telephones, where you can just pick up the phone and call anyone else up on a cell phone and talk and FaceTime and everything else. Why are people still saying they're lonely, Becky B?
Well, because in my opinion anyway, I'm not the expert, but in my opinion, a lot of those social media relationships are so shallow. They're not the kind of relationships that are really sincere, strong relationships. And, you can chat with somebody on social media, but you may not even know that person, have a real personal relationship with them. And I think we're lacking some of that personal relationship. You can be sitting in a room, full of people and feel lonely just because you really haven't made a connection with somebody.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, maybe some of it is pandemic related, right? Where our young people and, or that group, 18 to 25, coming through the pandemic, maybe didn't have some important developmental time to develop those skills of interactions and personal relationships and so forth. And so here's the deal. I don't know that we can or even should even try to say why, but here's what I think is important, my friends. And if you're feeling lonely today or any day, I think if you're searching to solve that through relationships, which is certainly important, and I'm not downplaying that. I think relationships are extremely, extremely important. But I think the only way to really solve that issue is through our relationship, through your relationship with God, and through prayer, through time together. So many of us claim to be Christians, and we are, but we don't set aside time in the day to pray. We don't set aside time in the day for Bible study. We don't set time in the day away to make that relationship with God a very personal relationship. And probably in prayer, we should pray not to be lonely, right? To pray in our help to relationships with others. But only, my friends, I am convinced of this, only through our relationship with God will you not be lonely. You could have friends around you. You can have a cell phone in every daggone pocket you have. And you can chat for hours on the phone every day. But if you, my friends, this is me, this is just my thought, right? If you do not have a close relationship with God, you will be one of those 20 to 51% of adults that say, I am lonely. And
really, our mainline churches, other churches, whatever, offer opportunities really for fellowship and for Bible study together. They offer opportunities to give to others as well. And I think reaching out and giving of yourself is another thing that helps to prevent the loneliness. When you are sharing the love of Christ with others, when you are sharing your talents, when you are sharing your time, and it gives you some real purpose and also social interaction with others that helps to combat that loneliness as well.
Absolutely. So again, as we close this out about today's Go Long, from 2 Corinthians chapter 13-14, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God that has for each one of us. And listen to this carefully. The fellowship of the Holy Spirit. The fellowship of the Holy Spirit. Again, that is the relationships. As we try to build so many relationships, and do so, they're very important. But my friends, today our challenge is to build that relationship with God. And you will have a fellowship with the Holy Spirit that I promise you will erase any loneliness that you feel. But that's where you have to look to God, please, for that. Alrighty, my friends, thank you so much for being with us on Go Long. Guess what? When we come back, we're going to Fawn Grove, the Fawn Grove girls, District 3 softball champions. We're going to talk with their head coach, Nicole McCleary Patterson, right after this break, and a word from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors.
Daryl Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207.
Love baseball? Love perks? Then it's time to hit a home run with the York Revolution Silver Sluggers presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. For fans 55 and better, this exclusive membership gives you big savings on Tuesday home games all season long. 10 Tuesday home game tickets, discounts on concessions, and exclusive Silver Sluggers seat cushions, all for just $67.50. Don't miss out. Secure your Silver Sluggers membership today, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Sign up for the season at YorkRevolution.com.
The Atlantic League champion York Revolution are gearing up for another run at the title, and we want you to be part of the action. Lock up your seats with our popular and flexible 10-game plan. It comes with all kinds of season membership perks. Huge savings compared to single-game price, early admission, discount parking, exchange flexibility, and oh yeah, the best baseball around. Get your 10-game plan today at 717-801-HITS or visit YorkRevolution.com.
And welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. Hey, we're going to Fawn Grove, District 3 champions, their softball team, and their head coach, Nicole McCleary Patterson. Coach, congratulations, a district championship. Wow, that sounds pretty nice.
Thank you. Yes, it's pretty awesome to bring another one home for us.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about the game and maybe the district run, how you got there.
So I'd say the run started after we lost the district championship last year. It sat with, pretty much the consensus was, it sat with the entire team throughout the entire summer. Even my manager, we talked about it the morning of this year, last Tuesday. And she said they want it, and they want it bad. And she said, I haven't forgotten about last year's, because we felt like we should have won that one. And then knowing when we had our home opener against Trinity, the team that beat us last season, beating them, that first home opener, it's like, okay, we're going to make the run, and this championship is ours. And the fact that they just came out, did their jobs, they went to work, they showed up in the box, they did exactly what, I couldn't ask any more from them.
Well, when you look at a district championship loss, as you did last year, that's really nothing to be ashamed of. But the way it fuels you for the next year and kind of starts off the year on that, we're going to get it. We're going to get it this year. You still have to win one game at a time. But were you looking ahead to the district championship the whole year?
I think so. I mean, we knew that we needed to take it, one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, and just get the plays done. Because, there we took a hard loss to Spring Grove that I think we looked a little too far ahead in that one to what the next game was, thinking you're going to face an opponent that usually might be a little more difficult. So that's where that got us there. But, yeah, I'd say that there's the idea that you want to look at it game by game, but also you do look at the end goal of what it was. And when I had asked them what their goals were at the beginning of season, it was, go out, win the division. Okay, we got that locked down. Go win the district championship that we thought we should have had the season prior. And what is it going to take? What is each individual's job? What do they need to do as a team to make that happen? And I couldn't ask for a better team of girls to do that, the leadership we have, but just their continued answered back.
If I'm a softball team in the York Adams League or District 3, I think I'm pretty scared. Not only you guys are champions, but you're young. Starting with, your sophomore pitcher, Taryn Ashenfelder. She struck out 15 in the championship game. There's a lot to look forward to, right?
Yeah, she's actually currently this season, she has 277 strikeouts on the season alone.
Wow.
She's at 400, and I think 34 is what I checked on her career already as a sophomore.
Wow.
So I believe she's chasing that 1,000 career strikeouts for her high school career. And, darn it, if that girl, I'm more than confident she's going to get it.
Wow.
Yeah, she's lights out, and she just has that presence. Everyone knows her when she walks on that field. They know who she is, and she's not afraid to own that.
What's her strikeout pitch?
I'm not going to answer that one.
Oh, okay.
Because here's my thing is, I like what we have going on. That's what.
All right.
I'm going to keep that one under wraps for a little bit.
Well, maybe when you're a state champion, maybe you'll give that up, huh? How about that?
Sure. Then we can talk, because then we got a whole nother year for her to add on to it.
All right. Well, we're going to fill in that blank later. So here's, if I'm trying to think what that analogy exam, the Miller's analogy exam would say, Felix Bautista for the Orioles, sets them up with high fastball, then strikes him out with his, split finger down and away. So after the state championship, we're going to say, okay, Taryn Ashfelder sets him up with this, and strikes him out. But we'll fill in that blank later. How's that?
All I can say is when I'm calling, my job is, and my goal is, I want to keep every single batter guessing. Yep. I want that batter walking in feeling uncomfortable. Because if they're mentally going in there already not knowing what the heck they're going to see, that's one more, thing in my pitcher's corner that can help her just keep them unsettled. Because then they're in their heads already not knowing what's going to happen. Right. And it can either make them freeze in the box, or it gets them a little over excited.
All right, well, it's in my head now, so I'm with you. I get it.
All right, now, every game at States is a big game, and every team at States that you're going to play is phenomenal. But what do you know about your next opponent? I'm not even going to try to say the whole Monsignor, Boner, da-da-da-da. What do you know about him?
Bronner Prendy was like the thing that I was told, and then I tried to look him up and couldn't say it myself. So I didn't know anything about him, and I consulted my dad. My dad was a part of the coaching staff from the 2017 district championship team. And I asked him, and I said, I have no idea. And he said, here's the thing, more often times than not, you're going to get some Eastern, Catholic school towards the Philly area. And sure enough, that's where they're from. Now, luckily, I was speaking to my pitcher's dad, and they know a few of the girls on that team because our pitcher played with some of them in her showcase team prior to when she moved to another one. So we have a bit of an idea. To my knowledge, they're going to be pretty good hitters, but, I mean, I have all the confidence in the world, especially them feeding off a championship title win. As long as we go in, do our jobs, as individuals and as a team, we're going to manhandle any team we go up against.
Tell us, the games at home, is there an advantage playing at home? What are the dimensions of the Kennerdale field help you or not? Or what? Tell us a little bit about it.
I'd say the one advantage that we have is the wind on our field is like no other. Yeah. Any team that isn't familiar or any coach that's not familiar with the wind, it can get their outfielders dancing a little bit and get them unsure because that wind will swirl, but it's pretty harsh at times. But, I also don't mind being the away team because our team's proven that when our back's against the wall, we honestly perform better. So we'll just have to see. I think more than anything, it's just going to be their energy feeding off the last win. That's going to be more than having the home advantage. But yes, it'll absolutely be awesome to have a state game here at our home field. I don't know if that's ever happened. So it's pretty exciting as a whole.
Now, I know when I was an athlete, some of those long rides make it kind of tough, getting out after sitting on a bus and all cramped up and everything, But you just did it for an hour to Millersville, got off and went away with the District 1. What does your team do to get themselves psyched up on the bus on the way to a game?
I think it's a little bit of a combination. They know each other for the most part. They all grew up going to tournaments with each other and things like that. So from what I can gather just by hearing at the front of the bus, what they got going on is they're very in tune with just listening to their music, having fun together. Some of them will rest and you can see them kind of getting in that mindset of, more of a focused aspect. But when they're getting off the bus, they're dancing, they're carrying on, they're just having fun and enjoying the moment more than anything.
One observation, and I did an interim college coaching softball job one time, and but I was a baseball player. My observation was a few more fielding errors in softball, and part of it is the 60-foot distance. You gotta catch it, and you better get rid of it. You don't have time to take a crow's hop at third base and throw somebody out. And I think the other part of it is, and I want your thoughts, Nicole, is when you have a pitcher like Taryn Ashtonfelder, who's striking out 15 a game. It's hard to be on your toes, right? Maybe as a fielder too, because the ball's not in play quite as much. And the shorter distances, I guess I want your thoughts, because I think when you look around the league, you see a few more errors, but that's certainly not the case for the Kennerdale Rams.
We've had our games and that we have, though. And I think part of the reason that we have games that we have significantly less is because of the fact that we practice that very heavily. We are a very defensive-based team as a whole. So, yeah, we got Taryn, who absolutely helps. When you have a pitcher that can throw that many strikeouts and have the endurance to throw strikeouts, because that is hard on the pitcher as a whole, as being a strikeout pitcher, because they got to throw a lot more. But Taryn does very heavily rely on her defense, and so we work that a lot. As a unit, more oftentimes than not, our practices are just hitting tons and tons and tons of hard ground balls at them. So when, Taryn is throwing, that ball that's going to come off any bat from her because she's throwing so hard is going to come off very hot. So it's just getting our girls ready to be set up to make a clean play on it.
Yeah. Well, today on Go Long, we celebrate Nicole McCleary Patterson, the Kennerdale Rams, District 3 4A champions. Tomorrow open up state play at home in Fawn Grove. Wow, what a great season. It's still going on. Nicole, what a wonderful job. What a great coaching job you've done. And, everyone talks about first of all, you're a great fundamental coach. But more importantly, you represent yourself, our league, our community in such a tremendous way, and the girls love playing for you, and that's certainly I think a wonderful thing, and it shows so much about you. So we celebrate you, Coach, today in the Kennerdale Rams, and wish you the best as you get into state playoffs.
I appreciate that.
All right.
All right, go Rams.
All righty, go Rams. I like it. All righty, Coach. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
All right, Nicole McCleary Patterson, what a great season. Becky B, I know you have another college player to talk about, and we'll have more later because we got to get on the phone, and guess what? We got Jalen Cook coming up as well.
Absolutely, yes. We'll talk about some of these college players, but let's just talk about West York's Braden Ziegler.
All right.
Alrighty. He was on the roster for Tampa for the men's lacrosse.
Wow.
And they played for the national championship, this one in Foxborough, Massachusetts, last Sunday. And unfortunately ended up on the short end of the stick, 9-8 in overtime.
Wow, okay.
Alrighty, but in a national championship, Adelphia won both the male and the female national championships.
Oh,
So-
isn't it amazing the success of these local athletes? All right.
Absolutely.
Hey, talk about success of a local athlete. Oh, my goodness, we're going to go to Dallastown, Jalen Cook, right after this message from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors.
Gerald Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207. The Atlantic League champion York Revolution are gearing up for another run at the title, and we want you to be part of the action. Lock up your seats with our popular and flexible 10-game plan. It comes with all kinds of season membership perks. Huge savings compared to single-game price, early admission, discount parking, exchange flexibility, and oh yeah, the best baseball around. Get your 10-game plan today at 717-801-HITS or visit YorkRevolution.com.
Love baseball? Love perks? Then it's time to hit a home run with the York Revolution Silver Sluggers presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. For fans 55 and better, this exclusive membership gives you big savings on Tuesday home games all season long. 10 Tuesday home game tickets, discounts on concessions, and exclusive Silver Sluggers seat cushions, all for just $67.50. Don't miss out. Secure your Silver Sluggers membership today, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Sign up for the season at YorkRevolution.com.
And welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. Everybody, thank you so much for being with us today and every Sunday morning. It means so much to us as we celebrate the accomplishments of our local athletes and coaches and other sports figures here in central Pennsylvania. And you talk about celebrating success. Let's go to Dallastown, where we have a young man who won the PIAA gold medal in the high jump. My goodness, he cleared 7 feet 3 inches, a new state record. Jalen Cook, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, what does it feel like to set a new state record and win a gold medal?
I mean, it's an awesome feeling that I just wasn't really prepared for this year at all, but it's an awesome thing to accomplish.
Now, Jalen, that state record was 40 years old. I mean, you're not even 20 years old. You've broken a state record that's twice your age. And not only that, you didn't just break it by a little bit. You broke it by 2 1/4 inches, which in high jumping is something, especially when you're up over 7 feet. Did you ever dream you could high jump that high when this is your first year of high jumping?
Yeah, no, I was not expecting this at all.
Now, Jalen, here you've debunked the myth of you got to be a one-sport athlete in high school to be great at it. I mean, you're a star football player, a star basketball player. My goodness, when we played you at home in Dallas with you as you played for Dallastown this year, you were just a tremendous player in basketball. Well, now you win a gold medal. What is it like to be a 3-sport high school athlete? And you also your GPA the last I looked was well over 3 as well. So you're doing well in the classroom as well. Tell us how you balance all that and what it means.
I mean, it's really you got to be able to schedule your time. And if you have the right support around you, it's not as complicated as people think. You have people to push you through it and people to work with you throughout all seasons. And that's just really what helps me push myself to get through is the support around me.
All right. Tell us a little bit. Who are some of the people that are supporting you, Jalen?
My parents, of course. And then I have a great little small group of friends that are always with me and I always hang out with and talk to. And they're always with me. And then all my coaches.
Now, Jalen, I don't know if you have a favorite, but football, basketball, now a gold medal high jumper. What do you have a favorite? Football is my true love. All right. Well, good. Oh, tell us about the future there. I know you're planning on playing college football as well.
I am. I plan to go play college football at East Stroudsburg, and I also plan on jumping there.
Oh, wonderful. Why East Stroudsburg, Jalen?
It's a great place. I mean, all the coaches have showed great support to me, and I want to be able to go somewhere where I can play and I can get playing time on the field early. And I love the campus and all the guys there I already know, and I'm going to be able to get up there and have a good time.
Now, Jalen, this was your first year of jumping. Had you ever jumped before, though? Obviously, we knew you could jump. We saw you on the football field jumping. You saw you dunking in basketball. But did you have any idea how to high jump, or is this totally brand new to you?
This is 100% brand new.
All right. Well, breaking a state record. Now, I know the high school record for the high jump was 7'6", and that was set in 2017. Do you have any idea what the college high jump record might be?
I do not.
Okay, that's something we'll have to research.
You know what? I think sometime over the next 4 years, he's going to find it and pass it. That's my guess right there, too.
Okay, now, tell us. Now, 7'3" is nothing to sneeze about. It's taller than you are, obviously. But how do you, how have you progressed this year? What was your starting at the beginning of this year for your high jump, and then finishing at 7'3"?
I mean, coming out my first scrimmage, I think I jumped 5'6" at a meet, and then 5'10" at a dual meet, and then after that, when I really had to get some good practice in with my coach and the way he laid things out, everything just progressed, and it's been going up and up, and we're just trying to stay consistent and see where we can go from here. Now,
do you have any plans? Are you going to any invitationals or anything throughout the summer here for your high jump?
Yes, I'm going to go to the New Balance National Invitation.
Okay, excellent. That's in Philly, the 20th of June, I believe, right?
Yes, I'll be jumping the 21st.
Okay,
Alrighty.
Excellent. Well, good luck. That 7'6" record's hanging there for the national record. Is there a chance? What do you think?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see in the moment.
Have you ever jumped higher than 7'3" in practice?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Right,
well, hey, the adrenaline will be pumping, I'm sure.
Now's the time. Yep, now's the time. Jalen, everybody we talked to, and again, I had a chance to coach against you in basketball, and I know your basketball coach well, and he shared these words with me as not only is he a great athlete, but he's a better person. Tell us, knowing that your basketball coach said that about you, what does that mean, and how do you exemplify that?
I mean, it means a lot to be talked about my character more than I am an athlete, because that's bigger than sports, and that reflects on who I am, and that just makes me feel good as a person and makes me feel good that people can talk about me like that.
Yeah, well, Coach Grassel had nothing but wonderful things, and again, the exact quote is he's a better person than he is an athlete, and knowing that you're set a state record in the high jump, to hear that is just incredible, and I think all of our listeners and all of our young people should take that to heart and know that about Jalen Cook, and what a fine young man you are. And not only that, but you're a pretty daggone good student as well. I mean, what does that mean?
I mean, student first, always. I mean, my dad's a coach, and he always preaches student first, and all my coaches always preach student first. So I get to work in the classroom, and as soon as I can be done that, then I focus on my sports and everything, but always be a student first.
Right.
And what is your major going to be at East Stroudsburg?
Health and physical education.
Oh, fantastic. What do you hope to do with it? Are you looking to coach in the future, or is this...
I am looking to coach in the future.
Alrighty.
All right. You'll have a tremendous ability then to impact others in the future. That's awesome.
Alrighty, my friends. Well, today on Go Long, we celebrate Jalen Cook. How about a young man who not only wins the gold medal, but sets a new state record? And he is a star athlete, not in one, not in two, but 3 sports, and he's a great student. And as Coach Grassel, Dallas Towns High School basketball coach, told me, he's a better person than he is an athlete. Wow. Good job, Jalen Cook. It is an honor for us to have you here on Go Long. We wish you the best. We look forward to following you in your college career. We're so proud of you. Keep up the good work. One more thing before we let you go. Does it mean something to be a leader among other young people?
Yeah, it means a lot. Like, it's hard to put into words, like, what it means to have some of the younger kids who we, go to camp with, come up and, congratulate me and stuff like that. It means a lot to be able to be, a role model for them.
Alrighty. Jalen Cook. Jalen, thanks for being with us on Go Long. We appreciate it. Well done, and good luck. Everything we do, we value you. Thank you, Jalen.
Thank you.
Alrighty. What a great young man, right?
Absolutely.
How about that?
Yes.
I mean, that's just a state record, 7.3 he cleared, and in his first year.
Well, and when you look at it, he started off at 5'6". He improved almost 2 feet.
Think what the upside is. Think what the upside is. Back in my day and age, Scott Fiske was long jump, gold medal, and ends up in the NFL. It would that athletic ability and that leadership ability. It wouldn't. I'm not trying to set the young man's course, but it wouldn't surprise me that he doesn't have that kind of ability, right?
Yep.
Just a great
those
young man.
God-given talents and
Yep.
the things that he can do with them, I'm sure, are just
Absolutely.
amazing.
Becky B, I know you have another athlete or so you want to share with us. Some folks here in our Central PA listening area that are doing so well as they leave the York Adams League and head out into their collegiate career.
All right. You may remember last year from Carson Baca and the Auburn men's golf team.
Okay, yeah.
They were national champions last year, and they went, the Tigers were trying to qualify again to be national champions. They unfortunately did not quite qualify. They dropped a 3-2 quarterfinal match to Virginia last Tuesday. But Carson Baca is tied for 44th in the entire nation in 4 rounds of stroke play. Now that lets him, he's eligible now to join the the Professional Golfers Tour if he should want to. So we'll look forward to doing that, and congratulations to Carson again for an amazing year with the Auburn men's golf team.
Wow. Okay, well done. Thank you, Becky B. My friends, as we get ready to close out today's show, and before Becky B closes in prayer again, please send your prayer request to us at 717-350-8591. We also got to mention York Suburban. Ian Korn, playing at Seton Hall, was the National Pitcher of the Year for Division II. How about that? Well done. We'll talk more about that moving forward. In fact, we're going to try to get him on the show as well. But tremendous success. So, again, send your prayer request to us during the weekend, during the show, always at 717-350-8591. So, Becky B, again, please close in prayer. But, again, we want to thank all of you for being with us today every Sunday morning. It means so much to us that we have this time together as we celebrate the accomplishments of our local athletes and coaches and other sport figures. What a celebration today, right? District 3 champs in Kennerdale and Jalen Cook gold medal. What a great young man. So Becky B, would you please close in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you and we just praise you for this time together. And we thank you and praise you, Lord, for all of the athletes that have participated this year. And us, especially we want to thank you and praise you for the graduates of our high schools here in Pennsylvania and all over the nation. We just, Lord, ask, Lord, that you be with those graduates and guide their paths so that they can glorify you in all that they do. We just thank you, Lord, for always being with Heather and for helping her as she continues to go through her treatments. We just ask your blessing on Frank as he recovers from his surgery, and ask that you be with him and his family as he works through that, and be with Bonnie as she continues her treatments and give her the strength. Also, we ask your blessings on Jan. Thank you so much, Lord, for all the many blessings you give us. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Becky B. And now, my friends, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Thank you to Kelsey Jean from Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. For Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. I'm Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying, go long.